Okay, so I did film a movie commentary, a reaction to the movie, but YouTube decides to be an absolute cunt. Unfortunately, YouTube hates me, and so does Paramount Plus, and so does Jeff Davis, and so does everything, because the video keeps getting copyrighted. It keeps getting little copyright claims. I kid you not, I have tried 24 times. I will show you how many times I've tried. It just keeps getting a little copyright claim, and it's really frustrating because I really wanted to talk about the film and I really wanted to talk about it and share my thoughts. So that is what I'm going to be doing now. I will try and, include something if I can. I'm so upset about it. I really am. I wanted to upload a movie commentary, but unfortunately YouTube decides to punch me in the stomach and say no in your dreams. Okay, so the film, it was a pretty good film in my opinion. It wasn't, 5 stars. It wasn't, oh my god, the best film I've ever seen. I did enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. It was good. I understand why people are upset, and I understand why people are frustrated with the film and the way that they've, handled it and created it. I understand that. But I feel like there are some good aspects and there are also some bad aspects. There were a lot of questions that I was left with that I don't really think were answered in the movie, which sucks because the last thing you want to do is be like, I have so many questions and not have the answers to them. So I have a little list here. Firstly, I want to know who Eli's mother is, because he's 15 and Allison died 15 years ago, so it was around season 3, and the people that Derek was sleeping with in season 3, as we know of, is Julia, the teacher, the Dirac, and Brayden. But I don't think Brayden was until season 4. So I don't know. I feel like there is an opportunity for there to be a second film. Personally, go ahead. I feel like some people are gonna like this and want a second movie, and some people are gonna hate this and say this was the worst thing you've ever done. I do, like I said, have some things to talk about. I just want to know who Eli's mother is, and I don't think that was ever really discussed in the movie at all, who his mother is, or if she's alive or if she's dead. To be honest, I don't even remember if she was even mentioned. Next, we have Stiles and Lydia. Look, I understand why Lydia left him, but I wish there was more to it. I understand she had a reoccurring dream, which I personally do think was a premonition, because banshees predict death. I've seen a lot of people say oh, no way Lydia just left him because of a dream. I don't think it was just a dream. I do think it was a premonition, and she did see how he was gonna die. She thought, if she wasn't in the car with him, that would somehow prevent it, so that's why she left. I understand that. I just don't think it should have been that easily explained. Stiles Stilinski had a crush on Lydia since pretty much the day he was born. I don't think he would just be able to let her go so quickly and so easily. So I think that there should have been more mentioning of Stiles, how he reacted to the breakup. I just feel like there should have been more of a mentioning of him and not just Lydia. I understand why, Dylan O'Brien didn't, do the film. I respect that as much as I would have loved to have him on it. It was fine without him, but it wasn't Teen Wolf. Does that make sense? It wasn't the same as the show without him. Anyway, yeah, I just don't think that we had a lot of Stiles, even when they were saying, the directors and writers were saying, Stiles does get mentioned, you do know what happened to Stiles, blah, 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 blah. And it's did we, when you watch it, you're do we know what happened to Stiles? As far as we know, he's still in the FBI, and he was with Lydia, and now somehow they've broken up. We didn't really get much about him. And don't even get me started on the fact that we got nothing on Isaac, nothing on Kira, and literally nothing on Theo or any of the other past characters that should have been at least mentioned. You had, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the film, Derek died. I will literally put in footage of me sobbing, crying, bawling my eyes out.
You're the alpha.
Don't. No.
He's part of your pack now.
No, don't you dare. Don't do it. Dad. Don't do this to me. Did you just kill Derek? What the fuck? What the fuck?
First night I met Derek.
You kidding me? You kidding? That was unnecessary. I still haven't recovered. But family, Cora. Okay, she doesn't have to be in the film. She could have had a small little cameo at the little funeral at the end. That would have just been like, that's nice. I'm glad she was called, hey, your brother's dead. A lot of people weren't mentioned, and I understand from, the actor's point of view and perspective as, I've left my Teen Wolf days behind. I'm not a part of that world anymore. I don't want to do it, and I respect that. I just think that the way that the writers and the directors and producers have handled this and, handled the storylines, have been and has felt very rushed. Watching this show for years and rewatching it and, growing up with the cast because, most of the time the fans that have watched this when they were young, growing into young adulthood. So to have a Teen Wolf movie and your audience, you should be sort of catering to what they're expecting. As a fan, you're like, oh my god, a Teen Wolf movie. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna think, okay, the cast is coming back, that sort of thing. And you're excited for it. And that's what these directors and what these people that are making the movie for should be catering towards, like including most of the original cast. Another thing that confused me, plot holes. The Nogitsune being a werewolf, when in season 3 they literally said that a fox cannot be a wolf or a fox and vice versa. A werewolf can't be a werewolf and a fox. So the Nogitsune being a werewolf in the movie is a little bit confusing. I don't know if it's because of Scott being a true alpha and maybe a true alpha bite's different from an alpha bite. I don't know, and I think there is a little bit of a plot hole in that storyline. Speaking of storyline, I don't think it was necessary to have the Nogitsune and that whole thing be the main thing in this film. I think it could have been something completely different. I mean, like, you could have brought Allison back to life. You could have had all that the same. I just don't think that the villain had to be the same, because the key reason that the Nogitsune and that storyline was the way that it was and why season 3 is the best, and I'm not saying that from as a personal opinion, season 3 was the best. It literally was the best. Like, statistically, all of that. To then reuse that storyline, which they know that season was the best season, which is why they've used the storyline to then get a lot of engagement and stuff like that, which I appreciate and I understand. However, you cannot do that storyline without two major characters that made that storyline possible. Number one being Kira. Literally, she was a kitsune, and the opposite of the kitsune was the Nogitsune, the dark spirit. She was the main reason, her whole storyline was the main reason the Nogitsune was introduced and all of that. The second obviously being Styles, because the Nogitsune took over Styles and then he became Void, and those two characters were so key plots. They needed to be in this film to make it good with that storyline. Like I said, they didn't have to be in the film, and I respect their decision not to be. However, you could have done a different villain. Could have brought the Darak back, or you could have brought Kate, because as far as I know, Kate's still a were-jaguar somewhere in the world. Like, I don't even think she died. I can't remember. I just, the Nogitsune, I don't think that was the right villain to choose, Again, Theo, Isaac, Kira, Styles, all of those, I just think that they should have at least got more mentioning, at least some flashback scenes. Like, we didn't get anything like that, and when we did get flashback scenes, a lot of the time, Styles was cut out, or someone was cut out, and it was just focusing on the people that were in the movie. Also, Hikari giving Scott her fox, didn't know that was a possible thing for kitsunes to do. I mean, it was cool, it was great, but I just feel like it was a bit weird, because we've never seen that before. We've never even known that was a possibility. It just didn't make sense because there was nothing to it. There was no sort of explanation. They could have said, like, Hikari has mastered the, art of Kitsune and her energy, and she's able to do a lot more with her power, then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense as to why she can literally give Scott her fox. You know what I mean? But there was no explanation. So it just didn't make any sense. At least that's what I'm assuming. She's got control of it a lot more than Kira did, and that's why she was able to, but I mean, I don't know. I literally do not understand this. How did the jar with the Triskele, whatever it's called, end up in Japan with Liam and Hikari? Because the last time we saw the jar was with Isaac when he was going to Paris. So how the fuck did it end up in Japan? Make it make sense. I don't understand. Daniel Sharman wasn't in the film as Isaac. Mention Isaac. Like, Liam was traveling in Paris with Hikari when they ran into Isaac. Okay, there's some mention, and that's maybe why they got the job. But just kind of having them have the job was a bit confusing. It was weird. You're just like, how did you get the job? Next, Adrian, the chemistry teacher. How was he alive? I don't understand how he literally is walking, because he died from the Durak in season 3. Season 3? Season 2? I don't remember. But he died. He literally was sacrificed and killed. So how is he alive? And you're probably thinking the Nogitsune brought him back. He unleashed the Nogitsune. How was the Nogitsune supposed to resurrect him if the Nogitsune was in the jar? You get what I mean? I don't understand that. Another plot hole, another thing that's confusing. Anyway, Malia and Parrish, whatever. I don't really care for their relationship. I just want to know how and why and when it happened. Because last time, did they break up? I don't remember, but last time we saw was Malia and Scott were together. I don't remember if they broke up. They might have. But from what I can remember, they didn't. So when did they break up? Why did they break up? Like I said, I do think it was rushed. I feel like there could have been a lot more time and energy put into it. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's not a 5-star movie. It's like a good, fun watch if you're not so critical when it comes to movies and stuff. As well, the movie, some of the characters felt pretty useless. Like Liam and Hikari, they were barely in it. I think they have a total of 7 minutes of screen time out of a 2.5 hour movie. They had a purpose, I will give them that, but they were barely in it. Peter Hale, the fuck were you doing here? Because you literally had no purpose other than sniffing around like a literal dog. I know you're a wolf, but you were on your hands and knees. First of all, that's embarrassing. He just felt so useless to the plot. He was barely in it. When I found out about the whole Arden Cho situation, first of all, she deserves better. I do feel bad for Arden Cho. It is a fucked up situation that they weren't going to pay her an equal amount. And when you think about it, she was, like I said, the key major character in season 3 for the storyline of the Nogitsune. And when they were going to bring the Nogitsune back and not pay her an equal share, be fucking for real. I hope that she's thriving. I hope she's getting booked and busy. She did not deserve that. She really did deserve an equal pay, or even more. It was crazy to see her completely get just betrayed, and then even worse, replaced. No hate to Hikari or the actress that plays her. She did amazing. I love her. It was just very much, Kira's not in it. This is the replacement. That's how it felt, and that's how it, was seen as. Especially seeing as she was the same supernatural creature that Kira was. She could have been a werewolf or another creature. Just anything but a kitsune. And it would have been like, okay, you've replaced Kira, but you're a different creature, so it's a little bit different. And yeah, as for Styles, I miss him, and I hope he's okay. Why he was rarely mentioned is something that annoys me, because ask anyone in the Teen Wolf fan group, fandom, whatever you want to call it, they will easily tell you with their full heart and chest, Styles Selinsky is a fan favorite. Even if they don't like him, he was a very, very popular character. I mean, the main character was obviously Scott. Styles really made the show what it is. The sarcasm, the comedy, the humor, everything that Styles did and was in the show is what made the show the show. No one could have replaced Styles, and if the show didn't have Styles, then the show wouldn't have been as big as it was. You could kind of see in the film that they were definitely trying to have an essence of Styles there. Like, you could see the similarities in Styles and Eli. I don't know, they just gave off the same vibe. And when Jackson showed up, it was like, okay, hello, don't know why you're here, but you're here. But it was very clear, at least to me, in my opinion, that they were trying to fill Styles' spot and the humor and sarcasm with Jackson. Like, even Ethan, like, okay, Ethan, great. The twins, they were great. Ethan got a mention, but Isaac didn't. I don't even want to talk about it. The special effects, I have seen a lot of people say that the special effects have been very bad. But for me, I didn't really. I thought they were fine. I didn't think that they were bad. I didn't think that they were, the best special effects I've ever seen, like Marvel movies. The scene where Allison gets brought back to life, I thought that was cool. I was like, whoa, this is different. However, there were some times where you're like, oh, this is bad. Green screen moment. I'm gonna just look away. Mason, I swear he had more screen time than Liam did. Or they had the same amount of screen time, and they were besties. Also, I don't even think they interacted once in the movie, and they were besties in the show. That's crazy. If they explained it as in Styles wasn't coming back because he was, like, traumatized, that would make sense. For Styles' character, he would have been traumatized from the Nogitsune and all of that. However, part of him would have gone back and helped everyone. It's just wild to me that they didn't even mention him, like they didn't even call him. If you've seen the show, you know that Styles would have immediately come and helped. I wanted to mention a few more things. Scott and Allison, as happy as I am that they were endgame, they got their happy ending. I appreciate that. Wow, that was great. But if you were to tell me, 14-year-old me, after I just mourned the loss of Allison Argent, that she was coming back, I don't even know what I would say. I literally cried like a baby for months. Like, I was literally mourning the death of someone who wasn't real. I was in pain. So her just like coming back just felt like, I did all that for what? Don't get me wrong, I loved having her back. She was slaying so hard. Seeing Crystal perform as Allison Argent again was amazing. It was such a good, just fun watch to see her play that version of Allison. I think she did amazing. She was doing so good. I was rooting for her even though she was trying to kill everyone. I was like, yeah, I'm rooting for you. Like, you got this. One thing I did want to see more of is Lydia and Allison again. They were besties, like literal best friends. And they barely even had anything with each other, which was a little bit disappointing. Again, like I've said a million times in this video, I do think it was rushed, and I think that the writers should have put a lot more thought into the movie. Whoever wrote the movie, whoever did the script, which Jeff Davis, obviously, you should have rewatched the show you made and then been like, okay, I have a new memory of everything. Great. Now let's get to writing. Because there were definitely some things from the original that should have been, brought back. But it was great to see Allison and Scott get their happy little endgame. I don't know what else to say. As well, the beginning credits felt very wrong. It did not feel the same. I think it should have been the original intro, especially the song. I don't know. It just did not feel the same. The Teen Wolf movie didn't feel like Teen Wolf. It felt like it had Teen Wolf aspects as well as the title Teen Wolf. Does that make sense? I hope it does. However, Eli, he was a great addition. I love Eli. I think he's amazing. I am excited to see if they do anything with him in the future for like maybe a second film, or maybe if they turn it into a trilogy. I don't know. Also, for me, I can easily like a movie. Like, I can recognize when a movie is bad, but I liked it. I think it was fine. Again, it wasn't a 5-star film. Them killing off Derek, though, literally took 3.5 stars off my rating. His death actually broke me into a million pieces. Like, I'm still, I can't talk about it. People to watch it, and I wanted people to see my reactions and stuff. I'm so upset, and I'm so sorry that I am not able to get this commentary up. I really want to. It's so heartbreaking to me because I really, really, really wanted it to go up, and I really wanted. Thanks for watching my little discussion. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the movie. I would love to know what you think of it. Follow me on Letterboxd and all my other socials. It's all Matt X Kerr. Subscribe, like, and please, for the love of God, I hate to be like this, but please share with your mother, your sister, your dog, your uncle, your cousin, everyone, because the trauma that I have gone through and endured trying to get this commentary up has been, I don't even want to even look at the YouTube studio or be on YouTube for at least a month. I will see you in my next video, which, to be honest, I don't know when it'll be because I hate YouTube right now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and see ya.